Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 1 of my World of Warcraft Getting Into Roleplay series. In this first episode, I'm going to show you a few basic things that can really help you getting started with roleplay. To kick us off, your clothing. You can't just rock up in your biggest, spikiest armour expecting everyone to love it in roleplay. The point of roleplay is to diverse your character into the character that you want it to be. Their dress style, the way they talk, their attitude, these are all things that are controlled by us the player and that are taken into account by other players. Let's quickly change the outfit of our lovely volunteer here, Awas. Alright, looking great. As you can see, already she looks more approachable and more realistic as a character. You don't have to wear a suit, of course. If you want to wear your big spiky armour or your long pink dress, then by all means do it. Just make sure you have a good storyline to explain why you wear it and where exactly it came from. We will discuss storylines later. A lot of outfits will vary depending on the type of roleplay that you're involved in. Some roleplay guilds will have uniforms that either they will give you or you will have to grab yourself. Guild uniforms can really result in an awesome looking roleplay event. Seeing 30 people all rock up in the same uniform, you know stuff's about to go down. You will see a variety of different roleplayers, from kids to elderlies and from chefs to secret agents. No matter what you want to jump right into, you'll be able to. Although the world of roleplaying has quietened down a bit over the past years of gaming, the love between roleplayers still goes strong. There is a lot of friendly roleplay going on all around you. You just have to be patient and friendly enough to find it. For example, I'm going to approach this man here and begin conversation. Now, as you can see, getting involved with roleplay is super easy. You just have to make sure you have a nice approach and the other player should respond just fine. Next up is your punctuation. Capital letters, commas and full stops, they're all your best friends when it comes to roleplaying. People really don't like it when someone approaches them in roleplaying and speaks complete nonsense in the sense of formality. It's not that you need to speak your language perfectly and make sure everything is right, because that's definitely not the case. Your character can talk however she or he actually wants to. Maybe you want to have a bit of slang on a few words here and there, that's fine. Just make sure you're using the right punctuation and the right capital letters while doing that. For example, I will show you the approach of someone without punctuation and then someone with. As you can see, the second approach was definitely the one we'd want to respond to. As you begin to learn more about roleplaying, you'll pick up some terms. One is someone saying they're a heavy roleplayer. This means that they won't take any less roleplay than the best. They want full punctuation, full character storylines and personalities. They expect to be roleplaying with experienced roleplayers. It's pretty much like a mythic raid, they will only take in people good enough. If you approach a heavy roleplayer with bad punctuation, bad attitude or an unexplained crazy dress sense, they'll more than likely ignore you. I always say to myself in roleplay, when it comes down to meeting new people, I always vary my approach on how I'd expect someone to approach me. If someone approaches me, then the concept changes, of course. I would expect anyone to come and approach me the way I would approach them, but that isn't actually always going to happen, as I don't control every player in the game. So what do you do when someone approaches you? Well, you act normal. Personally, I vary my reply on the way they approach me. My character is the quiet, information-taking in kind. She will jot down every little thing there is to know about someone and keep it all in her head. If someone approaches you with super bad grammar, a bad attitude, or you just aren't feeling roleplay with that person, it is okay to just ignore them, or maybe let them know that you don't want to do it right now. A good way to do this is to put a message in open brackets, which actually means you're talking out of character. These are two terms that roleplayers around the world that play all role-playing games should know, IC and OOC, which actually stand for in character and out of character. This shows people whether you're speaking and acting in character or not. A good way to show this, like I just said, is by putting open and closed brackets before and after your message, i.e. from you, not the character. You can just add it there and then people will know that it's you saying it and you're not saying it to try and go with the storyline. As you can see, the other person has acknowledged that what's going on and said that's fine, and he will now wait for the current role player to return. You will need to remember these two terms, as people will always be going in and out of character during roleplay, so it's good not to muddle up things between the two. It's good to post these bracket messages in the chat you're currently chatting in with other roleplayers. This makes it known that you've gone out of character for a moment. People will usually always put the message in say, as this is where most roleplay chat happens, but if you're using a guild chat or maybe a created channel, I'm sure it's fine to post it there as well. But I'd always ask first though, just to make sure. In terms of in-game chatting, the most commonly used role-playing chat channels in World of Warcraft are the /say and the /emote channels. /say, of course, being the character's speech, and /emote being the character's feelings and or actions. For example, as you can see by the emote that showed up, this person is crying of happiness and not sadness, which at first I did think. By them typing this, you can vary your approach to them and also change how you're going to talk to them. Anyways guys, that was my first episode on how to roleplay in an MMORPG, specifically World of Warcraft. But if you guys are playing any other MMOs, such as Rift or Black Desert Online, I don't know, any of them really, that involve roleplay, I'm sure these tips can work exactly the same way for you. Join me in episode 2, where I will cover creating your character's storyline, finding new costumes, and getting yourself into a guild. And also, I just want to quickly add on a massive thank you to everyone that helped me making this video, and a massive thank you to everyone who's watching. The support is really great. I can't wait to see you all in the next episode. Bye guys.